I'm Paige McGowan with your sports update. We were patient all summer, but it's finally that time of year. Basketball season is back. Both Humber teams face their longtime rivals, the Sheridan Bruins, Tuesday night in the most anticipated matchup of the season. Fans are constantly on the edge of their seats when these two teams battle because you never know what to expect. Fans from both teams filled the gym. The high levels of intensity and athleticism you see when these two teams face off is the reason this matchup is a must-see every year. Humber and Sheridan will meet again later in the season. In more basketball action, the Toronto Raptors clutched a home victory against the Detroit Pistons. Former head coach Dwayne Casey headed back to Toronto for the first time since the 2018 championships. After last night's game, the Dallas Cowboys look like they're on their last ride. Despite the scoreboard showing it was a close game, the Chicago Bears had their paws all over them. Canada's tennis superstar BIANCA ANDREESCU has withdrawn from the Women's Tennis Association finals due to an injury to her left knee. Results from an MRI scan last night convinced ANDREESCU that she should not play in her final round-robin match today. She was eliminated from championship contention after retiring from her match against Karolina Pliskova on Wednesday as a result of the injury. This decision is an unfortunate end to an extremely successful year for ANDREESCU in spite of several injuries. As we say hello to one sports season, we say goodbye to another. The MLB World Series final game took place last night in Houston, and the Washington Nationals did what was once thought as impossible. The Nationals won the World Series with a 6-2 victory over the Houston Astros. Who would win in a battle, a hawk or a condor? Looks like that question was answered in last night's basketball games when the Conestoga Condors visited the Humber Hawks. It was a battle of the birds, but both Hawks teams managed to secure the win in the end. The women's team played first, wrapping up the first half of their season with a 66-47-point victory. Here at Humber, two-time national champion Alina Domingo is taking her talents to Europe, continuing her basketball career at the professional level. This decorated athlete signed her first ever professional contract and left for France on November 17th. Alina Domingo is a legend at Humber College. Her dreams of playing pro came true last. The crowd was overflowing with fans at the Hawks' Nest tonight for the last home game of the season. It was an exciting night as both the women's and men's team came out with a win in the end. Since this was the last home game, next up we have Nationals, which will also be hosted at Humber. I'm Paige McGowan for Humber News. Moving over to the NBA, two lucky fans got a special gift from the king himself, LeBron James. LeBron had an interesting night in Los Angeles on Wednesday. Not only did he get away with an obvious travel, but he also stirred up some emotions after he gave away his game-worn sneakers. The LA Lakers defeated the Utah Jazz 121-96, but that's not the story here. It's been an eventful week for the NBA. A brawl erupted between NBA All-Star centers Karl Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid during a game Wednesday night. The Minnesota Timberwolves were trailing the Philadelphia 76ers 55-75, with 6 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the third quarter when the fight began. The cause of the tussle was when Philadelphia's Embiid shoved Minnesota's Towns, and he responded by throwing a punch at Embiid. Last year proves winning the 2019 NBA championships wasn't a fluke, and more good news just keeps coming their way. The Toronto Raptors are a potential destination point for Milwaukee Bucks power forward Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is set to become a free agent in the summer of 2021. That's your sports update. I'm Paige McGowan.